Alright guys, I'm going to try to make this video quick as not to take up too much of your time. Also, kind of got a headache, so I don't want to ramble on for too long. So, the European Spring Series. The qualifiers are over and the results are in. So we're going to go over my predictions for the European Spring Series and go over just all the teams that made it. And as always, if you guys do enjoy, hit subscribe. I mean, this is awesome. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers as I am making this video. Very close. It's just incredible. I said my goal was to hit 10K, and I really feel like that we have a chance to do it one day. So thank you guys so much, and let's get right into it. So here are the results. Here is all the teams that are in the European Spring Series. Now we're going to go over all the teams real quick. Vitality, Dignitas, Maus, and Barcelona, they auto-qualified from RLCS Season 9. They got top 4 in regionals, so they earned their spot. Now the qualifiers, this is where it gets pretty interesting. I assumed we'd see maybe a Veloce or a Reciprocity in, but no, even they tanked out. We have the Clappers, Endpoint, Canyons, and Team BDS. Now Endpoint and Team BDS, they are RLCS teams. Endpoint was in RLCS Season 9, and Team BDS auto-qualified for European RLCS Season 10. So Team BDS is an RLCS team, but Canyons. Who are Canyons? Well, if we look back at European RLRS, Canyons were actually RCD Español, and remember RCD dropped their entire roster once they didn't make it to RLCS, but it looks like they kept grinding, and now they're here in Spring Series. So it was RCD, who were the favorites in the promotion tournament, I might add, but they ended up not making it. So that puts that out of the way, and then who are Clappers? Now, this is basically the Jamal Jabari of Europe. They are the biggest underdogs in the Spring Series right now, and I could say that with utmost certainty. The other two teams like BDS and RCD, or now Canyons, they are at least RLCS teams or barely on the cusp of RLCS, but these guys, they aren't even RLRS. They are a new put together team, and they qualified. You know, we'll see what happens with these guys. Personally, I don't have too much hopes for them because obviously they're huge underdogs. I have no clue what to expect from these guys. And then there's Endpoint, of course. They have now Metzenaris. They got rid of Nachitao, so they're looking a little bit stronger maybe with this new team. Who knows? We'll see in the Spring Series. But now let's get into predictions. Of course, I don't want to ramble on too long. But so we have Dignitas and Canyons. Remember Canyons being the old RCD Español, but I think that Dignitas is looking like one of the best teams in Europe right now. I'm going to give this a 3-1 in favor of Dignitas, and Dignitas will move on to the semifinals while Canyons will drop out. And FC Barcelona versus Endpoint, and this is a really interesting match that I want to go over because remember, FC Barcelona showed a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of struggles towards the end of RLCS 9, while Endpoint, they just made a roster move and they qualify for Spring Series when no one might have thought that they would have, especially after how they placed in RLCS. I think, what were they? They were like 9th or 8th. I forget which one. But yeah, so with this roster move and then FC Barcelona's inconsistency, I can see Endpoint taking this on a good day. I'm going to give it to Barcelona. I'll make it 3-2 because Barcelona just more consistent in previous matchups, but they did come very close. Remember, they had to reverse sweep AS Monaco, FC Barcelona, to the teams that they should beat. They almost lose to some of these teams. So, you know, it'll be very interesting to see how they've changed their playstyle, because I do think they need a playstyle change a little bit if they're going to want to continue to be a top 6 team, a top 4 team in Europe, FC Barcelona. So then Vitality versus Team BDS, and I got to give it to Vitality, of course. Just like Dig, they are one of the top teams in Europe. I just don't see any team besides Dignitas beating Vitality right now. Maybe Mouse Sports. We'll get into that later, obviously. But yeah, we'll have Vitality move on. And then it's Mouse Sports versus the Clappers. And the Clappers are going to get clapped. I'm sorry, Clappers. I just I want to give it a 3-0 in the favor of the Clappers, but I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. You'll have your chance to prove me wrong on the Spring Series day, but come on. Mouse Sports with Arju, man. Arju looks like the best player on this team. I mean, come on. Mouse Sports is one of those European teams that I can see going far with this new roster if they are going to continue to play like we've seen them play after their roster change, scrubbed for Arju. And yeah, I think they dominate Clappers. I'm going to give it a 3-0. I'm sorry, I got to give it a 3-0 in favor of Mouse Sports. I think that this is the definition of underdog, and I don't think that these dogs will have their day. And then let's move on to, let's just do losers round 1 next. It's going to be Canyons versus Endpoint, and then Team BDS versus the Clappers. So let's get on Canyons versus Endpoint. Remember, Canyons, RCD Espanol, almost qualified for RLCS 10. Couldn't clutch it in the promotion tournament, although being heavy favorites. And Endpoint, they did clutch it in the promotion tournament. In fact, when RCD Espanol, or back then they called themselves Stonkers, when they played against Endpoint, Endpoint beat them 4-2. And this was with their old roster. So after looking at that, I have to give this matchup to Endpoint over Canyons, aka Stonkers, aka RCD Espanol. Oh my god, it's a lot to remember, I know, but I like to keep reiterating it just so people don't get confused. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 3-1 in the lower bracket. Loses round 1 in favor of Endpoint. They took the matchup last time they played, and I think they'll take it again. They're looking like they have a better roster. And then we'll have Team BDS versus the Clappers, and Team BDS auto qualifying for that RLCS spot. They are now an RLCS caliber team. I don't think the Clappers, who aren't even an RLRS caliber team, well, maybe they are. Maybe they are now. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a run next season. But as of right now, none of them are an RLRS even. I can't give it to them. So yeah, and then we'll have Team BDS and then Endpoint in loses round 2. And let's move on to the semifinals. So we're going to have Dignitas versus Barcelona, and then Vitality versus Mouse Sports. Dignitas versus FC Barcelona. I'll say this right now. Barcelona has a small chance of beating Dignitas. Dignitas is looking this strong. And it's going to take a combination of 2 things. Barcelona is going to need to be on. They cannot be playing like they did at the end of league play. They need to be playing like they did in regionals. And then on Dignitas' side, Astral is going to need to be playing like a dog shit if they want a chance of winning. Because Astral, when he's on, Jesus Christ, that man's a monster. You're scared of Astral. You better be scared of Astral. The man's insane. Violent Panda, the 2-time, and then we have Yukio, who, he's Yukio, KBM. He doesn't have a huge title like the other 2, but he's still good. He's still really good. He's on Dignitas. He owns. But yeah, I have to give this 3-1 in favor of Dignitas in the semifinals. I really can't see Barcelona taking this, especially if Astral's playing his game. Nah, it's lights out. I'm sorry. And then it would be Vitality versus Mouse Sports in the semifinals. And I'm going to make a really bold prediction on this. I'm going to say 3-2 in favor of Mouse. I think now Mouse Sports have had a ton of time to work with each other, further develop their playstyle. Remember, in RLCS regionals, Mouse Sports went 5 games against Dignitas, and Dignitas then went on to beat Vitality. And all the games were very close. So I think that Mouse Sports has a chance to beat Vitality. And you know what? I'm going to give it to them 3-2 in favor of Mouse for this matchup. I think they surprise us. They show us something that we just haven't, that we knew that they could do, but they show us even more than they did at regionals and in the last couple weeks of, or was it the last 1 week of league play? I think they come out swinging hard, and it's going to be a really good showing for them. Also, one thing to remember is that Mouse did win the best of 5. I think I said best of 5 earlier. It was a best of 7 in regionals where Dignitas beat them in 7 games. But if it was a best of 5, Mouse would have won. They won 3 games before Dig did. So they can win these. They have shown they have the potential. So I'm going to go to losers round 2. Endpoint versus Vitality. And then it's going to be Team BDS versus Barcelona. So let's start off with Endpoint versus Vitality. Yeah, do I need to go any further than this? Vitality 3-0. Endpoint has a chance to take a game off of Vitality. I mean, because I think this is losers round 2, so this is going to be day 2 Vitality, and they're going to be so strong on day 2 because Vitality plays so much better on day 2 for some reason that I just don't think Endpoint has a chance to take a game even. I just don't. So I'm going to give it a 3-0 in favor of Vitality, of course, and Endpoint will be knocked out right there. So then we go on to Team BDS versus FC Barcelona. And I think BDS being a really new RLCS team, there's always a chance that they can beat FC Barcelona if FC Barcelona is not playing their game. If they can't get Ronicky on striking, then FC Barcelona will be in some serious trouble. Although Flakes has looked very clean on offense when he's on, I think Flakes plays a better defensive role, being that second man to get the ball out to Ronicky. And if they're not playing that way, then I don't think that they will beat Team BDS. I'll still give it to Barcelona. I think that, they've shown us a little bit more that they have the ability to play at the top RLCS contention level, while BDS is still getting there. So I would be a fool right now not to give it to Barcelona, but we'll see. I think there's a chance that Team BDS take this if this matchup does end up happening. But yeah, I'll give it a 3-2 in favor of Barcelona. I still think they'll surprise us BDS. So 3-2, and then in the lower bracket it would be Vitality versus Barcelona, while in the upper bracket winners finals would be Dig versus Mouse. Let's start with Vitality versus Barcelona. Now, losers round 3 is a best of 5 still. Yeah, there's only 3 best of 7s. So Vitality versus Barcelona. What to say about this matchup? Last time Barcelona played against Vitality was in regionals. During that, Barcelona was hot. They 4-2'd Veloce, 4-1 to Reciprocity. I mean, Barcelona was on fire. And then when it came down to Vitality, they lost 4-1 while they were on. Like, when you can easily say, yeah, Barcelona's playing their game, they're on. Vitality just dominates them. I think it just shows you the clear skill gap between these two teams. And I think Vitality take this 3-1 in the losers round 3, and they move on to the losers finals, because I don't know, I just can't see Barcelona taking on Vitality, especially after the results that they have had in the past against them. All right, Barcelona, they can come out and prove something here. They really can, but I don't see it. Not right now. Then Mouse Sports versus Dignitas. This will be probably one of the best matches up to this point. I'm going to give it to... It's really hard, because I really do think Mouse Sports is going to be this team that, like, explodes. If not now, then in RLCS Season 10. They look like it. I'm still going to give it to Dig. It's going to be a 4-3 again, right? Last time they played each other, it was a 1-goal game, Game 7. All right, and Mouse Sports barely lost to Dignitas. I'm going to give it to Dignitas again. I think that it could go either way. After the last match we saw against them, this definitely could go either way. A Mouse versus Dig matchup. It's very close. It was one of the most entertaining, probably the most entertaining match of RLCS Season 9 and all the regions. That was one of the best. And yeah, I really am excited. I really want to see a Dig versus Mouse matchup again, but I think Dig take this. We're going to give it 4-3. Then in the losers finals, Vitality versus Mouse. And Mouse has not played Vitality with this new roster. And you know what? Here I am with the bold predictions. I'm going to give it a 4-2 in favor of Mouse. Yeah, I said it. 4-2 in favor of Mouse. Is it likely to happen? I don't know, man. It really depends how on Vitality are. And they usually are on day 2. But I think there's going to be some new top dogs in Europe. Right, Dignitas, we still had some questions on them at the beginning of RLCS Season 9. They answered all those questions. Vitality take league play, while Dig take regionals. You're thinking it's either Vitality or Dig are the best in the region, but come on. Mouse Sports, after this roster change, is how good they looked without a lot of time to practice. I gotta give them some credit, and I'm gonna give it to them. 4-2 in favor of Mouse. And then the grand finals, Dig versus Mouse with that 1-game advantage. This is where it's probably not going to be as competitive, because if you give Dig a 1-game advantage, all right, GG, well played. Might as well not even play the match. I'm going to give it a 4-2 in favor of Dig in the grand finals. And a lot of people might be asking, so do I think that Dig is the best team in Europe right now? Yes, I do. And I kind of hesitated when I said that, because Vitality and Mouse, I think, are right there. Just there, both of them, from what we've seen so far from them. And it's hard for me to confidently say Dig is the best, because I don't really know how everyone's going to come out and play during the spring series. We just don't know. And it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be awesome to see. But I'm going to give it to them. 4-2 in favor of Dig, and Dig take the whole thing. I think Astral wins MVP, but not to discredit Yukio and Violent Panda. They're going to play lights out as well, like they always have. They'll continue to do that. But Mouse Sports is really going to make a name for themselves here. Not that they already haven't, but they're going to solidify themselves in this tournament. That's my prediction. And Vitality will still be good, right? This is not me thinking Vitality's falling off. It's me thinking that Mouse Sports is just rising up. Dignitas is just rising up. I don't think that Vitality is going to look bad at all. They'll still look great. But, yep, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. My favorite part of these videos is getting to listen to what you guys think. So, let me know either your predictions or if you disagree with one of mine, because obviously everyone's going to have their own bracket. Y'all might disagree. Y'all might have Jamal Jabari in the Clappers in the grand finals. Come on, can we get a Jamal Jabari and Clappers grand finals? That would be something, man. That's like world championship grand finals quality games right there. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. If you did enjoy, hit subscribe. Thank you all so much for the support. I feel like I say this in every video, but it's because people are just showing more and more support every week. Like I have a new most viewed video on my channel like every month now that I've been. It's crazy. Or every couple weeks, there's a new one just blows up, and people just have so much support for it, and it's awesome. I love it. Thank you guys so much. Oh yeah, and also if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I tweet stuff, a lot of esports stuff and a lot of stupid stuff. If you guys want to do that, keep up to date. But yep. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya. Peace.